Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Hey.
Hello.
Episode 167. We are late again because I was sick. Well, I was sick all week, but not bad. No COVID. I don't think. At least that's what the home tests say.
Yeah, if the home tests are accurate.
Yeah. One of the things that I should say is that, so I have a direct report. I have an HR manager who reports to me, and she's out for a week, doing family stuff. And man, you really need to appreciate the people, who work for you, work in your life, because she does a lot, and then you don't realize how much she does until you got to take it over, Yeah. It's like, oh, I miss you. But it's a good thing, because, she's top notch, and a lot of people, I know a lot of, and this is just kind of HR advice, but kind of just managerial, advice in general. Like when you have high performing employees, teammates, let them spend time with their families. Let them do the things they do. When they ask for whatever time they want off, if they're high performing, you give them that time off with no pushback. You don't bother them. You don't let them just disconnect and then have that good work-life balance, because those are the people that you depend on. You want them to be recharged. You want them to be happy at work, and it actually pays dividends. So whatever, things that I get to learn because that I didn't have to do before, because of, the absence of a superstar. Those are all positives. I get to learn, and, that person will come back hopefully recharged and happy. So, and that's what's important. And she even said, "Hey, I know you're getting sick. Do you want me to change my time off?" And I'm like, "No, we'll figure it out. Work will always be here." And that's not me saying, "Oh, this is how I do things." I'm saying that's how things should be worldwide, in every organization. And because I've been in organizations where that wasn't the case.
Right.
And I've had supervisors and managers who were, in my younger days, they were kind of toxic, kind of just, what I mean? Only thought of their own, spreadsheets and what's on their desk and how are things going to make their life easier. And even though I didn't like working for them at the time, I appreciate it, because now, when you climb the ladder and you get into certain positions, you know what not to do.
Yeah.
And I think so. Even the hard times in your life, appreciate them as learning experiences. And I know that's hard to do. You're probably just like, I want to Thanos snap these people, but no, it's always an opportunity to learn. So
they're tyrants.
Yeah. So yeah. But no, it's been good, and you also get to learn on the whole things about the other organizations, and hopefully, cast members are being treated that way. We had some really cool cast members this past weekend who kind of helped us out. I remember old Hal checking us into Oogie Boogie.
Oh, Hal, yeah.
Sweet old guy. And then, the lovely ladies helping us out. Lots of different people answering questions. So we'll take you through that whole thing. But first, we do have a giveaway that's ongoing for September. And that is our Loungefly not Minnie Mouse, but mini size backpack.
Miniature.
Hocus Pocus backpack. And all you have to do is answer this question What do you love or hate about Halloween? And you can answer that question to us in a variety of ways. You direct message us through Facebook, direct message us through Instagram, message us via email at info@ropedroppingknowledge.com, or leave a message on the blog post of the backpack on ropedroppingknowledge.com, our official website. As many types of entries as you do, as many types of responses as you do, as many venues as you use, it would be all considered separate entries. So you could get up to 4 entries if you use all the mediums. And you must be 18 years or older, live in the United States. And this ends on the last Saturday of September, which I always forget the date. I believe that is the 24th.
Yes.
And we will be drawing the winner at random on the 25th.
Yep. So you'll get it before Halloween.
Before Halloween, and that was our intent. And we'll be doing another Halloween themed giveaway next month, but we wanted just to make sure that, we get that Halloween spirit going. Holidays are starting up, and we have another wallet giveaway, in-park giveaway, and we weren't going to be going back until
October 1st.
But then Tracy started crying.
What?
I want to go.
No, it's because the last time we went, it was for Oogie Boogie Bash. So we didn't get to do our normal chilling at Sonoma Terrace.
Typical.
And then the next time we go is October 1st. We won't be chilling at DCA at all because we're taking cousins.
Cousins who've never been.
So we're going to kind of being tour guides at Disneyland. Mm-hmm. And then the next time we go again is like November. So we won't be seeing any Halloween stuff at all after October 1st. And then also we won't be seeing DCA at all until November. So that's why I'm like, oh, maybe we should go one more time. Yeah.
So we'll be going on September 24th. This is this next Saturday, a week from today. Mm-hmm. And because I made that and I was just like, we'll probably cancel because when we, our cousins, our double Alex squared, both named Alex, stated that they wanted to go and they wanted to go with us. We were like, oh, that's 2 weeks in a row. We don't need to go 2 weeks in a row. We'll probably just cancel September 24th, which we already had reserved. But then Tracy started crying. I'm joking.
You started crying.
You started crying.
You got all sick because you're cooped up in the house all day. And
every time I get sick,
magic.
Tracy's remedy is, you need to go to Disney. More Disney. Doctor recommends more Disney. More Sonoma Terrace.
Because you're in the house all day. You don't even get your vitamin D or whatever, your sunlight.
I know, like a vampire. But yeah, so it is true. We go to Disney not just because we were Disney fans, and because we are Disney fans and we were going to the park so frequently, we became content creators. It wasn't the other way around. Mm-hmm. We weren't saying, oh, we should do a Disney show and let's start going to Disney. Yeah. No, we were already going for years. Yeah. We didn't start this until 2019.
I think most of the content creators are like that. They were already Disney fans and they just figured they put it out there.
I think a few are, and then some aren't. I think some were going like randomly, and then they thought it was a good idea.
The ones who take pretty pictures, those aren't the real ones.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
But yeah. What are some that take pretty pictures? I think like we know Disney
of themselves.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's different. But me and Tracy met in 2013, and we started going that year, I think. Mm-hmm. So, and we didn't start this until 2019. So,
until Galaxy's Edge was our first episode.
Yep.
Opening of Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm. So, that's a good 6 years of not doing content and just going to Disney together. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm saying that is because the reason why we think we need to get that extra thing in is because that's kind of our mental health marriage break. We can just be together at Disney and kind of enjoy it. Like as a family, 2-person family, but, need a daughter, but. And yeah.
No, that's when we'll stop going. There's too much work taking a kid to Disney. Forget it.
We'll see. We will see.
Unless they're nieces like me and Emmy.
Yeah.
So then we just have fun and then give them back.
So yeah. So that's like our day. And then so basically we had a content weekend. We're going to have a couples weekend and then like a tour guide weekend. So that's kind of how we're splitting it up. But because of that, everyone gets another chance at that wallet.
Yes.
So
I'm also going by myself. Well, not by myself.
Oh, yeah.
With my sister on Tuesday. I don't know if anybody comes up. I don't know if anyone will recognize me.
Everybody will know who's crying about not going to Disney enough is the person who's going like 3 times in a week, a week and a half.
And then if my friend Rhiannon comes down, I'm going to go again in October.
Yeah. So in a period of 2 months, she could probably have gone 4 times.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Because Rhiannon's going to come the first week of October.
Yeah. It's not.
If she does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like.
She's a big Disney fan.
Should I go to St. Thomas or Disneyland? I'm like, well, I don't know. What kind of relaxing? Do you like to relax or do you like to? One's like relaxing, right? And one's like totally like having to do stuff and walking and all that stuff.
Rihanna's family is a big Disney family.
Yeah.
She got 6 kids.
Yes.
Adopted 6 kids.
Yes.
Makes her, I consider all foster parent and adoptive families like my family because I was adopted. That's the way a lot of us look at. I consider it like that's my identification. It's like
She's at Disney World. There, since she lives in Chicago, she's more Disney World. Mm-hmm. But they like the cruises.
Yeah.
Because then everyone's just confined to one space and just go do whatever you want.
Unless someone goes overboard, you can't lose them. You know?
Yeah, it's like, they like the cruises.
Yeah. So, yeah, her getting like some time off, maybe away from the kids and coming out with you, it's like, I encourage things like that. You know, girls' time. I think girls' time's good. I'm one of the husbands that supports girls' time because that gives me guys' time. And my guys' time might just be sitting on the couch by myself, but it's worth it.
I met up with her in Vegas, and it was cool.
Yeah,
like, she had a conference, and I just happened to be there. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was cool. I wanted to spend more time with her, but that's okay.
Yeah, good stuff. So, yeah, the first person who sees us or Tracy by herself and comes up and approaches us about the Disney Princess wallet, or if you just come up and say, hey, are you up dropping knowledge? Yeah. Do you have anything for me? You will win that wallet. First person who does it. And it's a Loungefly wallet, full-size Disney Princess wallet, pink and white. Maybe we should repost it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll repost it to remind you.
Yeah, but it is on our social media, so you can take a good look at it.
Yeah.
And no one has won it yet. But it's a cool prize. It's bigger than the card wallets we typically give away. Mm-hmm.
And nobody
won the JPEG challenge.
Yeah, nobody dared. I saw a guy in a suit, but you said he's supposed to be security guard or something.
Well, because he had an earpiece. He had like one of those things. And
is he supposed to be like Loki? Is he supposed to be Loki? Security guards don't wear suits.
It was a black suit with an earpiece. So it wasn't like Secret Service earpiece.
Like Secret Service?
Yeah. So I was like, that's not Chapek. But the thing, because here's the thing. If I saw somebody who was dressed as Chapek, I would have approached them. I wouldn't have assumed they knew who we were.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, is that you dressed as Chapek? And they would have said yes. I would have given them the $100 gift card. Because I just didn't think anyone would do it. Be brave enough to do that. That was the whole point of the contest.
Yeah. Especially that day because he was there. Mm-hmm. He was in khakis and a white polo.
If I would have saw him, I would have approached him.
He was there. He was there taking pictures with the guest services cast members.
Yeah, but he wasn't. I didn't see him walking around. I would have ran up to him.
He was at Disneyland, though. He wasn't at Oogie Boogie Bash. Yeah. I don't know if he was, but...
Maybe he was dressed up. We didn't see him. Hiding in the villain's trail. So, yeah. But I think, throughout the year, there'll be other opportunities to win a gift card because I think it's a pretty cool idea for people to do daring stuff. So to get people to do stuff that's out of their comfort zone, it's kind of easy to come up and say, hey, we want to win that wallet. Mm-hmm. That's not awkward really. but to dress up as Chapek or, I don't know, a Universal character, I wouldn't do that.
Hey, we saw a whole family dressed up as Wonder Woman.
And
we're like,
blasphemy.
Not at Oogie Boogie Bash. This was a different day. That was just at Disneyland.
That was Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were, when we saw them, they were walking past that Houdini magic shop. So maybe, they just got mixed up with the Harry Potter cards and everything.
So it's kind of like we see no, like we see no color. They're kind of like we see no IP. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All IP is equal. I don't know.
All IPs matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're constantly doing giveaways. We're gonna have, as you guys know, we have our monthly giveaways that like the backpack. But then we're gonna have, and then we always have an in-park giveaway. Mm-hmm. Every time we're there, we'll have one until somebody finds us, and that only counts as it out for that day. But every day we're there, we're gonna have it, something to give away. And then we have super fan giveaways that we do randomly throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And then we have, if you listen to spoiler content, we started giveaways for that. So when we do Thor eventually, we're going to have something to do for the people who stick around and listen to that. People who watch things on time. And then sometimes we just give away stuff just for the heck of it. It's like, whatever,
Yeah.
I like giving.
You're a giver.
I'm a giver. So, yep. It's all fun. It makes me feel good. And it usually makes Tracy feel good.
So that means if no one claimed the Chapek one, the 100 gift card, it doesn't go to me. You're going to save it for another challenge?
Listen to her talk. It doesn't go to me.
It's going to be saved for another challenge?
Saw when we first got married and I was negotiating for a car and she somehow got a new car out of it. I always make jokes. Tracy really isn't a greedy person. She gives a lot, but it's usually just to friends and family. She thinks that it is. The idea of, since 2013, I've introduced her to the world of giving outside of your circle.
I like giving to people.
No, I just think it's, I think it's just like a family cultural thing.
Like when I go to Costco, like the Costco hot dog comes with a drink. And
she's going to give you an anecdote. Here we go.
Costco hot dog always has to go. Even if you don't want the drink, they force you. They give you that dumb empty cup. And then one time I was like, I just want bottled water instead. But they still give me the dumb empty cup. They're like, no, you also get this cup for free drinks. And I was like, I don't want it. So I always give my empty cup away to somebody for free. They get a free drink because I don't want to carry it. Yep. So see, I'm giving. Yeah. One time I gave it to this old man behind me. He's like, do you want a free drink? Because I'm not going to drink it. And he's like, really? Okay. No. So see.
That's Tracy saving the world one life at a time. One cup at a time.
One soda refill at a time. But it's like so annoying. I'm like, I don't want to carry this because I have to buy a hot dog for you too. So there's 2 empty cups. And I was like, can I just get bottled water? They're like, oh, okay, yeah. But you get the cup too. I was like, no, I don't want the cup. Even
when Tracy gives, she complains. It's because she's annoyed. If you want to know Tracy a lot, she'll give you $100,000.
I don't want the burden of this money. Take it. I don't want to pay taxes.
You're so funny.
No, but yes.
So it was still like a hot day the last weekend we went, but it was cloudy and hot
and raining.
It rained some. It was hot. It was like steamy hot. Florida weather, which is bleh.
Steamy rain, and it was raining at like 3 something by the time we were walking to get our wristbands and stuff. But we started the day. We got a reservation. Mm-hmm. So we started the day really late.
Yeah.
So we didn't really leave San Diego until, 10? Mm-hmm. So we got our room was already ready while before we even left San Diego.
Yeah.
Because I did the mobile check-in. You get to mobile check-in. We stayed at Paradise Pier, which is now officially named Pixar Place Hotel or something.
But it just says pier on it, right?
Oh, yeah. No, by the time we got there, the whole thing was gone.
Oh,
not even pier. And then this week, they took out that surf, the waves. So the whole thing outside, it's gone. So, yeah, it's officially retheming, but officially called something else now. Anyways, we got there. Our room was ready. So we got to our room, and we got a great view of the parks, of DCA.
Yeah.
So you all saw that. So then we wanted to meet up with me and Emmy because they were there. That was their last weekend.
Yeah.
Their pass expired on September 11th. And they didn't renew because their parents said, well, they're starting school now and maybe next year if the passes ever become available again.
Yeah. And then they would have to go through that whole thing with Emmy.
Yeah, with Emmy, she doesn't have a pass because she turned 3 during the whole... She actually turned 3 when they stopped selling the Drinky.
Right.
So...
Yeah. So they didn't get a chance to get one for her. So it's kind of like, all right, well, what do we do with that? You know, so we could renew for the whole family, but then we have one we'd have to buy a ticket for every time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So
that was like whatever. So anyways, we met up with them, and they said that surprisingly, Disneyland that day, like the lines were really short. They got to go on everything, including Rise of the Resistance.
Standby.
And it's because D23 was going on. So during the day, at least before 3 p.m., Disneyland was like freely, like everything was like short wait time. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to explain to Tony. I was like, well, you do understand that the D23 people all have reservations. They're just not here.
Yeah.
So the reservation pool got taken up still, but they're just all at the convention center.
Until like maybe 3 or
3
something.
or 4.
Yeah. So they did everything. They rode everything in Fantasyland. They rode all the adult rides, not Matterhorn, that was closed. Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain. She got to go on Rise of the Resistance for the first time.
And it's kind of got me thinking of, the old, park hacks and stuff. There are going to be things that are Disney themed. It's not, D23 is just like every 2 years, but there's going to be other types of conventions, things to where it's going to be either Disney or Disney adjacent to where that takes place outside of the park. Kind of like the runs maybe that are coming back, just different things to where people are still going to want to go to Disney. They just can't go all day.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if those are good days to go. Especially if you're the type of person who rope drops.
Yeah.
And then you can rope drop it and you don't and get everything done before 3.
Yeah, because that maybe after 4, like 4 to 5 or 6, it was packed. Right? So after they were done writing everything, they met up with us, and by 3 o'clock we had to part ways because you and I had to go check in for Oogie Boogie Bash for our wristband. And we part ways. They're like, oh, let's go over to DCA now. But it was so packed, they just skipped it. They're like, it's all right. So, so then we went to get our wristband, but the line was long at the main gate, because there's a gate to check in for special events. So you get the wristband for Oogie Boogie, you show the Oogie Boogie ticket, and you get, a little treat bag. For D23 night, you get a poster or something. So you and I were like, we don't want to stand in this line. So we went through the Grand California. And that entrance had a long line because, people who listen to Gothic Rosie knows that there's another entrance.
Yeah.
And that also had a long line. Not as long as the main gate, but pretty long.
But and I was trying to show people the pictures, and it didn't do it justice.
Right.
I mean, this was like rope drop before the gates open lines.
Yeah.
They were long all the way back, and they were taking a long time.
Right.
At the main gate. And then we went, like you said, we went to Grand Californian. And that line was, I don't know if anybody...
Pretty long.
Well, just imagine people from the security area, where they actually scan you, all the way back up to storytellers.
Yeah.
That's pretty long.
And it's a longer wait, too, because there's only one...
Yeah, they don't have as many gates.
Table or whatever.
Right.
And a scanner. So, as the main gate, you already went through security. This one, you have to go to security and get your ticket
exactly.
So we're like, oh, forget it. Let's just go.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, let's see. We saw it.
Because we have a third gate.
We have a third gate. We went through.
You just have to believe it's there.
Actually, there's 4, right? There's another gate where if you were already in the park and you have a reservation, so you're using your magic key to get in, then inside the park, there's another Oogie Boogie check-in or / registration area for your wristband.
And our original plan was to be in the park, but we wanted to go see me and Emmy at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So we went there, and then we thought we had enough time left because we came back at around 2:30.
Yeah.
But then the line was already just...
Yeah, they were already letting people in before 3.
That line was... Woo.
So we thought...
And it was hot.
Yes.
And it was
raining.
And it was raining.
So I was getting grumpy because I was like, dude, it's humid. I'm sweating. Like, my whole shirt was wet from sweating. I was like, dude, this is what Disney World's like? I never want to go to Disney World. I'm fine looking at it on TV. So... Anyways, so we figured we'd go through the Paradise Pier DCA entrance and then go get our wristband inside the park near Avengers Campus.
Right.
Entrance. And so let's do it that way. But then when we got to the DCA Paradise Pier entrance, hotel entrance to DCA, they had wristbands there. Because when we asked in the morning crew or the morning cast
we don't think
member,
so. We don't have anything yet.
We don't have any wristbands yet, but my shift ends, before 3, so maybe later ask, So we went back there, and they had the wristbands.
Yeah.
And there was just us.
And I took pictures. I showed everyone on stories.
Now, of course, you can't go through that entrance unless you have the Paradise Pier hotel key to go through that gate. So
I bet you could go if you had another hotel key, though. I think all hotel keys work for all secret entrances.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Would it work for Grand California and all that? Because it says Paradise Pier only.
It says it.
Or you could hold the door because there was somebody behind us and we just held the
We held the door, and I think they got nervous because they weren't, and then they left.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, so we started walking, and then as we were walking, it's a long pathway.
Yeah.
It gives you a long time to think. So if they were trying to sneak in somehow, I think they were thinking, what if we get all the way up there? Oh, man, and you got to turn around this blind corner.
Yeah.
And so I think they were like, you know what, let's just let's just go to the main entrance.
But they don't ask you when you're up there.
They
At least
don't.
Hal didn't.
They don't, but at the same time, look, I'm not saying I want to advertise that, but I'm also not a snitch. So
Yeah. Because we tried it like twice where we used our key just to scan through that door, that gate, to go in to the path. But then the path is like another maybe 2-minute walk.
And here's the thing. I mean, I don't think they're going to ever enforce it too hard because
right now there's not that many people.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like, how do you know how many people are in your party? So they would have to literally say, hey, are you with this person or are you with this person? I mean, I could get 3 hotel keys and give them to 3 people if I wanted.
I think they only enforce it with Magic Morning or whatever, early entry, but not throughout the day. I mean, there's rarely. So there was we went through there and there was Hal.
If you see us, we'll let you in. When we're staying
we were just trying to open the door, be courteous. We didn't want to slam the door in her face, so we just figured we have the door open and she just walked through.
Well, if they're coming in anyway, I don't care, man. I'm not a hater.
So anyways, we went through and we got our Oogie Boogie.
There was literally nobody else.
Nobody else, just us.
So
we were the first ones.
If you're standing in front of DCA main gate and all the lines, you got to figure there was probably a couple hundred in each line.
Yeah.
To 0 for the Paradise Pier entrance. And when I say 0, I mean 0. I mean me and Tracy were the only ones.
And this only works if your ticketed event is at DCA, right? Because if it's at Disneyland, there is no secret entrance or whatever.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, there's none. Unless you just go through the monorail. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyways, we got through. Hal checked us in, and we were the first Oogie Boogie guests for him, so he had to do scan us in through a different system. Mm-hmm. So it took a while, but that's fine. We had nowhere to go.
There was no one behind us.
Yeah, there's no one behind us, so we was like, oh, you're good. And then the two cast members gave us our wristband and a little treat bag for our Halloween treats. And a map of the Oogie Boogie event.
Yeah, and then we just left and went back to the hotel because we were checking.
Yeah, and then we just walked back, and they were like, oh, yeah, go back, freshen up, dry yourselves up, because we were all wet from the rain and sweating.
Yeah.
And then we're like, so this entrance will be open during Oogie Boogie Bash, right? She's like, yeah, just go back, freshen up, come back anytime. We're here.
Yeah.
So
I'll talk a little bit about this later, about the QR code on the wristband, but...
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I guess we could talk.
That's what I just read on the thing, but I don't.
So, yeah, we'll talk about it now because I'll forget about it. It's supposedly, there are certain spots that are PhotoPass exclusive for that event. Mm-hmm. And there's a QR code on your wristband that you're supposed to be able to scan to use for PhotoPass. Mm-hmm. I ain't trusting it because when we scanned in, there was no link between Hal, who was on one side of the thing, and they were just giving us the next random wristband, whichever was next on the roll.
It wasn't scanned to anything.
Yeah. So if you scan that and you think you're going to have your pictures on it, how would they know that wristband belongs to your ticket?
No, because you know how they have PhotoPass cards?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, that is my hypothesis, is that the number on the wristband would be the thing that you enter.
Yes. You enter it. You're supposed to scan your app to it, to link it. Yeah. Just like a PhotoPass card. So
I'm thinking it should work.
Yeah.
But me being old, I'm the kind of guy at the wedding. I'm old enough to
print everything out.
I don't believe in putting money into a wedding box, a gift box. I believe in handing it to the people.
And you print out all our concert tickets.
I print out concert tickets still.
So, you did print out our Oogie Boogie tickets.
I want to make sure that it's going to work. And so I use my actual ticket, to scan PhotoPass.
We didn't even know about this until after the fact.
Yeah.
And we didn't even take any PhotoPasses. We just took a Magic Key one.
The Magic Key one.
Yeah, and that's different, though, from the event PhotoPass.
But I'm just saying, that's my thing. But if you guys want to try it, let us know how it works.
Yeah, so we went back, got ready, came back about 6, because Oogie Boogie Bash officially starts at 6, even though the people with Oogie Boogie Bash tickets can come into the parks at 3. But we didn't want to do that because it's going to be super crowded with overlapping crowds, Right. So we came back a little bit after 6. Went through that walkway.
Yeah.
That entrance again.
Still nobody really there.
Still nobody.
Maybe one other party.
We saw because we had the view. So I did see random people in costume go over there from our hotel.
But I still don't think a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
Know about that entrance. So.
Yeah. So.
And it does kind of look like a cast member only entrance. Even though it says Paradise Pier guests.
Yeah.
It looks like, because it's like a steel door.
Yeah.
And you scan, it looks like a cast member entrance.
Yeah, it does.
So I could see some people
when you check in, they do tell you, do you know about our entrance or something?
Yeah.
But I think the people.
But even when they tell you that, they're probably going to assume it's the Grand California entrance.
Oh.
Even if they say Paradise Pier, but it's over connected to Grand California. It's on the side. Basically, it's between Goofy Sky School and the Grand Californian.
Yeah.
If you walk down the path, Goofy Sky School, the behind the scenes would be on your right, and the Grand California rooms are actually on your left.
Yeah.
So it looks like a cast member entrance. I can see people doubting and not wanting to get in Disney jail, and they just say, no, they must be talking about the Grand California.
Yeah. But also, the people who bought the special Oogie Boogie Bash event are probably not staying on property.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Most of these are people who are out of town who are here for D23. And, and then also what Hal forgot to do is check to see if I'm a D23 member.
Yeah.
Because it was illegal.
Hey, stop snitching out Hal. Hal's cool.
But no, he's cool.
Yeah. Always snitching, man. Karen.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not his fault, right? It's Disney's fault for not communicating with all their cast members who are at the age ticketing
I
point.
look like he's 65 years old.
No, he looks older.
well, leave Hal alone. We love
Yeah.
Hal. All right. So,
But what do we do? So
when we first got in, we went to what was it? Well, you were because you dressed up. You were bounding as Dr. Facilier, and you wanted to see him. That the thing is, when we first walked in, the line for him was crazy.
yeah, because he's the first.
He's the
kinda
first one you
on
see
the main street where the water.
Yeah,
thing
right
is.
next to the jumping jellyfish and all
Yeah,
that.
it was like in the main part of DCA, kind of.
And so we were just like, okay.
And he wasn't even out there.
Yeah, he wasn't out yet.
There was a huge line for treats, but he wasn't out. So I'm
we're like, yeah.
And then I listened to Caitlin, and Caitlin said if Oogie Boogie is your must see, go to his trail first.
Right.
Get it over with.
Now, here's the thing. I had heard horror stories about this. So I wasn't
I know.
actually looking forward to
Me
the
too.
standing in the lines and all this because I was just listening to people say, oh, we had to wait hours for this and hours for that. So to me, I was just like, okay, if Oogie Boogie, it's Oogie Boogie Bash, definitely want to see Oogie Boogie, right?
Yeah.
And if everyone's saying that that's a must do, first, and it was still sprinkling a little bit.
Yeah.
It's indoors. It's in the animation studio. Let's get in that line. Even if it's a 3-hour line, let's just knock that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got into that line, and it was incredibly long, but it moved incredibly swift.
Yes.
And what I mean, this line was so long, it wrapped around a few times in the fountain area. It was all the way down.
It was outdoors wrapped around, and then indoors a little bit more.
Yeah. But I would say, I think I timed it. It was only like 14 minutes or something to get inside.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. I mean, like.
And of course, again, if you follow social media and content creators, you will know that Oogie Boogie's in there. The map on the thing just tells you where each treat trail is and where each character meet and greet is, but it doesn't tell you what character is where.
Right.
I knew Oogie Boogie was in there from previous years, and of course, Gothic Rosie saying, okay, this is where Oogie Boogie will be, this is where Cruella will be, all that stuff. So I relied on that instead of the map. So most people probably just didn't know Oogie Boogie was in there.
I mean, I think some people probably found out by accident that it's like, it's a long line, let's get in it.
Yeah, or we'll just get in every treat trail that's on the map.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'll just, be surprised or whatever when they get in there.
So that was a pleasant surprise because it's like, oh, we got in quick. So then it's like, that's pretty cool, And so we got in, and the whole animation studio inside is totally rethemed for Oogie Boogie. All the graphics on the screens and the lights and everything. And then he's obviously, the MC in the middle. And it's probably the way they do it because we hit our first treat station there. And they give you maybe like a couple of candy bars, like mini candy bars. So I'm like, I don't know why people think they're getting a lot of candy out of this thing. It doesn't seem, they only give you like 2.
Yeah.
But just in that thing was like 5 areas to get candy.
Because then that's what you were saying that was smart of them. Because even though there's long lines on these treat trails, there's a spot where they give out candy in every stop.
Right.
In every few stops, so that you're not just bored standing in line. You're getting treats as you're standing in line.
Right.
So
they're rewarding you for standing in line.
Yeah,
and
so
it allows them to divide up the pace. Right.
Yeah,
They can
exactly.
stop you. They don't even have to say hold it like they do in rides.
Right.
Like how many in your party can you hold? No, you're automatically, everybody's stopping to get the treats, at least for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then they can kind of gauge it, and then it keeps moving.
I don't know if that's new.
I don't know.
Because before, maybe it's you don't get a treat until the end, until after you pass by Oogie Boogie in the end. And that's why the lines were long before. I don't know.
Yeah.
But still, we can see how the candy adds up.
Right.
And so I did bring an empty bag, a bigger empty bag. So we were able to dump all that in, and I carried it around all night. But
And it got heavy.
it got really heavy.
Just
And I was like,
hurting
my
your
back
shoulder.
hurts. Because it wasn't, I should have brought a backpack.
Yeah.
And then at least, But anyways, we did that first, and then We went next door and saw Madame Mim. We didn't even know what line it was because they're tucked in the back.
Right.
So we were just standing in line. We're like, fine, we'll get treats while standing in line. Then we see her.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, and then more treats, and then you leave the line.
She says, oh, you're really small. You're like a bug. I can get like not small. And she was kind of scary because she was very animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even though she's not the most well-known villain, she was pretty good.
She's new for this year.
Yeah.
And then so we skipped everything else, and
that was a pretty short line.
It's long, but like you said, they keep giving you treats, so then you think
you don't think it's long.
Yeah.
But it went pretty quick.
Yeah. The Cruella line was really long, so we skipped it at that time. We skipped it. And then we passed through Agatha Harkness, and we're like, eh. So instead, we just, went to get a treat. And we'll talk about it at Taste Talk. And then what did we do? Then we went to Dr. Facilier.
Yeah.
And then by that time, it was short.
Well, it was still long, but it was moving quickly.
Yeah.
It was shorter than when we first saw it.
Yeah.
Probably like half.
And then he was out, so I got a picture with him. So
Yeah,
these are like...
That was fun because it moved. Not only did it move swiftly, he was having dialogue with almost everyone, even though he was...
it wasn't a meet and greet.
It wasn't a meet and greet, but he treated it like a meet and greet.
Yeah.
So if you stood there and took a picture, he'll talk to you. And, but the line still moved really well.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. I don't know how they did it, but...
Yeah, well, because some people are just there for the treats, and then they'll take a look at him and then just leave. They don't really stop as a meet and greet, because that's two different things. There's the treat trails that have the characters, but they're standing on a stage type of thing. So it's not it's not a meet and greet. And then there's the meet and greet where you get to take a picture that comes with the photo pass thing. And you actually get to hug them and meet them. And those lines were really long, so we skipped all of those. We're like, forget it. We're not getting any candy out of this. Forget it. Just kidding.
But they look fun. And I think with kids, you're probably going to be more likely to go to those, though.
Yeah. Well, the Sanderson sister one, the one where Minnie and Daisy and Clarabelle are dressed as Sanderson sisters, the wait was an hour and a half.
Yeah. And to me, it's like, that's longer than Rise of Resistance. Like, I'm not going
And they wouldn't even let me stand, just stand a little bit to just snap a picture of them and leave. They're like, oh, keep moving. So I couldn't really get a picture.
So that was long. The only two that I regret probably not going to that were trails was Ernesto.
Yeah, we heard that one was really good.
And he sings, so I probably should have gotten that one.
Probably should have done that one.
And probably Agatha, just because it's new.
Yeah.
So,
but we did see Cap. We didn't stand in line, but we saw Zombie Cap.
Yeah, and I got a little bit of a video. I just haven't posted it yet.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to send that to me.
Yeah.
So and then we looked at the ride time, and it was like everything was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like Soaring was 5 minutes. So we went on Soaring. We're like, I know we're not here for
Little
rides,
Mermaid.
but let's just go. It was still hot, even though it was dark, and we wanted AC.
So we went on Little Mermaid, we went on Soaring, and we went on Monsters. I put up a video of Monsters of the
nobody there.
Nobody there. We were literally the only ones there, just like checking in. So that was weird.
And Radiator Springs was only like 15 minutes
for certain times. Yeah, I think it would go to a half an hour, then down to 15, then to a half an hour, and back and forth. But even a half an hour for Radiator Springs is still short.
Yeah.
So
we went on Soaring during the parade, so maybe that
first parade.
Yeah, the first parade. So that may be the reason why. Not during the parade, but while people were getting their spots for the parade. So
right. And so then after Soaring, we hit the Villains Trail. And
Villains Grove.
And I thought there was going to be villains in it, but it's just their hideouts.
No, it's just their hideout. It's their lair. And there's no villains in there. It's just basically the decoration. Yeah.
And sound effects.
And it's not a treat trail either. But I had to do it because, everyone's talking about it. It was fine. The way they did the special effects and all that, the lighting and stuff was cool. Cheshire Cat, Scar's lair, Maleficent's lair. It was cool with the lighting and stuff, but I don't know. I couldn't. I mean,
first of all, when we first went up there, the line was crazy long, and so I was just like, "Oh, I'm not looking forward to standing in this line, man." But it's one of those things like you paid the money, okay? We got to. It's kind of like one of the main features. So we did it. The line actually wasn't that long when we went there. I mean, at least the wait, it moved pretty smooth.
Yeah.
There was some stuff where, like, they kind of didn't know, like, to let people go past or stop. And so, like, people were getting irritated behind us because you have to kind of stop and look at things because it's kind of like animated.
Right,
certain things are animated and they develop.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
So you
about.
have to stop and look at it, but then there's people behind you that don't know why you're stopping. And so, and then the cast member does it. Well, they don't know what to see because they haven't been there. So it's the cast member should be like, you can either go by or there's things. There's signs to stop and see. They should like let people know because for all they know is it's just something that you walk through.
It is something you walk through, but you got to stop a little bit to take pictures of it or film it or just watch.
Well, I think once you get through the first few, maybe that you get the idea. But my point is if you're just there and you don't see, you don't understand why the line stopped. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and so people are like telling the cast member, and the cast member is just like, go around. And then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
So
if you're just there to walk through, then why go? I mean,
but my point is they think that it's just stuff that you walk by and see like a museum. Kind of. They don't know that there's things until you see the first thing.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. You would not know to do that. You don't just walk through.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, that's
like you were looking at the Cheshire Cat that appears, and it takes a little while for it to appear.
Yeah.
But until you see, but that's the first thing.
Right.
So if you don't see that first thing yet, but before you get to that point,
walk through. Right.
Yeah. So they don't understand why the line stopped because it's like, well, I just see lights.
Well, there's cast members in the front that ask you how many people in your party, and if she sees that it stopped, she would just stop letting people in.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I guess what I'm saying is it's kind of like, and I don't blame the cast members. I'm saying it's like the logistics of the training.
Yeah.
It's not on the people. It's not on the guests. It's not really on the cast members. It's like, it should be like logistics. Like, okay, we're letting a group of 10 through, and then once that 10 gets to the second thing, then we let the other group of 10 in or something,
Yeah, I was like...
Because they're just letting everybody in at once.
Right, exactly.
And so it's like, everyone's like, well, the line is moving quickly. Why is it now not moving quickly?
Right.
So...
Yeah, I get it. That's why I was like, well, if I'm going to stand at this line to watch this, I'm going to stand. You either go around me or wait. Like, you're not going to rush me through this because I want to see this.
Right.
It's not a walkthrough. So anyways, I was getting annoyed. So I was getting annoyed because the one that I was waiting for was the Dr. Facilier layer. And I was waiting for that picture of him to come out. But then, people started rushing me, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just leave now. So I didn't get to see what I came to see. So
yeah,
that was annoying. But anyways, it's fine.
Yes.
That's why it's like different when you see it on, those pictures of Instagram versus reality. Yeah, if you get to go preview night, of course, this place is amazing and awesome because you get to stand there and like take everything in. But if you have people behind you pushing you or rushing you to go, I'm like, dude, if you're here just to walk through this thing, then why go? You're here to look at it. So it wasn't the same experience as what
But see, I didn't even know that there was things to stop and look at. Like, I mean, obviously there's things to look at, but I didn't think that there was things that you had to wait to see develop.
Right.
So if you don't know, my whole point is if you don't know that, if you think it's like looking at like a decorated tree or looking at like some lights that are blinking on and off, you would just walk through and look at it, and it's like, and to the person behind you, they're just thinking like, oh my God, there's influencers just wanting to take pictures. They don't understand that you're actually
go around me.
Right, but they don't know if they're allowed to. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things too.
Yeah.
So because they're telling you to stay in a lane And
at the same time, they're saying just walk
right.
through.
So I don't blame the guests.
You've already stood in line for like 20 minutes. What's another few minutes when you're already inside? Like,
well, because I think if you've been at Disney all day, there are people who just stop for no reason. You know what I mean? So they're just thinking like,
if you're at Disney, you know you have to stand in line. So just wait. Just stand there. You know, if the line's not moving, just wait. You've already waited hours for rides and stuff like that.
Yeah, people. I don't think people have a problem waiting. They just need to know why they're waiting. You know, if they just think that you're just trying to be like one of the people that annoy you, like some Instagram girl just trying to get the perfect shot, you know, and holding up 100 people, that's annoying, right? And you would be annoyed with that. They don't know why the line is stopping. That's my point. So I'm not blaming anyone. I'm saying it is what it is, and better logistics could be done.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Anyways, I couldn't get the shot I wanted. One, because people were in the actual thing, the picture, so I couldn't see. And then two, when I was waiting for that part to come up, there were people behind me getting, you know, like, oh, go. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
So it's not what you think it is. I'm sure it's nice if nobody was there.
If nobody was there.
Like on
if it was
preview
private.
day. Yeah, like on preview day on September 6th, the preview day for the influencers who are invited. I'm sure it's nice. But when you're there with other thousands of people, it's not, you can't really see anything.
Yeah.
But it's like anything else, you know, Instagram versus reality, like going to Greece, right?
Well, honestly, though, the longest line we waited in was the Magic Key thing, and all it is a photo stop.
Yeah.
That was the longest thing we waited for.
That's true.
And that's not really that big of a deal.
Right.
You know, we just decided, well, we're Magic Keys, we might as well do it. But, so I think the Villains Trail was better than that. You know, from a waiting standpoint.
No, it wasn't any wait. It's just you couldn't experience stuff without people's heads in the way.
Right.
Like I took a picture of something, but it had all these people's heads in there, so it's like, forget it.
Yeah, too many people were allowed in at once.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's the logistical thing.
Yeah.
So, and if it was a ride, it would be fine because you get on the ride and you experience
that's your
the ride.
own experience,
right?
yeah.
But if it's something to where. So, for example, like at Star Wars Celebration with The Mandalorian, they only let a few people in, for the thing because people are going to stop at everything and look.
Right.
So my point is that if that was just walkthrough, people would be getting mad at that too.
Exactly.
See my point?
Because they couldn't take their time to.
Right. And everything there was meant to be stopped and looked and admired.
Yeah.
And so you have to treat it like a museum. You can't treat it like a ride.
Right.
And I think that was the logistical, and that's not the cast members' fault. That's people who designed it. That the process design. So it is what it is. Yeah. Just notes, something to put in the survey.
No, just have expectations that what you see on Instagram is not what you'll experience, and that's how I went into it with the other stuff, the treat trails and stuff. And so then I was surprised when it wasn't that bad of a wait. But with the Villains Grove, I didn't expect them to let so many people in at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And so that was your low point.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it's fine. It wasn't bad or anything.
We talked about it for 20 minutes. That's right.
Yes, it was annoying. Just kidding.
Yeah. For me, so we missed the first parade and we went on some rides. But then we kind of I was sitting there and I was just like, after Monsters Inc., I was like, well, I'm tired. I want to go back to the room. But at the same time, we knew that there was another parade coming and we were already back in Hollywood backlot area.
Oh, yeah. And then Cruella's line was short.
And so then you went to do Cruella.
You sat in the bench and I'm like, let me just look at Cruella.
Yeah.
And it was literally nobody there. So that's the thing is you kind of like what people were saying. Everyone will go to all these popular trails in the beginning. So if you wait a little bit, and everyone already did it, then there's nobody there. So nobody was there. So I got a really good view of Cruella. I'll post that video.
And by the same token, Maleficent.
Oh yeah, Maleficent too. Yeah, Maleficent was
right
tucked in the
Soarin'.
corner. Yeah.
The only thing you got to be careful of is that if you go in the wrong lane, you're going to get in this weird lane for soaring. Because they just tell you, they just have this sign that says, trail. And you have to pick the right bars in the soaring
We were just
queue.
following the guy in front of us, and he's like, "Oh, sorry," and then he went back.
Yeah, you have to go back. So you might end up on soaring by mistake, but because there's nobody in line for soaring either. So, but it's just a small thing. But that was a really short trail, treat trail, and then you could just do that and then go right into the line for the Villains Grove.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of little things that you can do that if you just wait until like maybe the midpoint, you can get on a lot easier.
Don't just do stuff right away. Yeah,
you're gonna get frustrated if you try to do everything early on because it's just gonna be long lines when you could chill. Mm-hmm. I might even suggest doing hit Oogie Boogie first. That's your biggest. That's the biggest thing, and a lot of people still don't know where he is.
Yeah,
hit that first. Maybe wait. I'd say the longest wait, maybe now that people know where he is, since they've probably seen all the social media posts, it'll probably still be around. It'll probably get up to like 30, 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. Hit that first. Go on some rides, because the rides will be empty, and then start hitting the other trails.
Yeah.
And then you'll still get to do everything. There's enough time to do everything.
Some people say there wasn't enough time, but
it depends on how you pace it.
They wanted to go on rides because we didn't really care about rides because we
if you're going to go on all the rides that are open, it can get tight.
Yeah.
But we kind of divided it up. We didn't go on. If you do the character meet and greets, obviously that's going to take up a lot of time. So there's enough time to do everything Oogie Boogie Bash related, all the trails and all the meet and greets, but with no rides.
Right.
If you want to split it up, half of that, half rides, there's enough time.
Yeah.
But to do everything and rides,
you just have to plan and prioritize. So
and watch the parades.
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
The parade wasn't on my list. Boogie Boogie, Dr. Facilier was on my list, and the Villains Grove was on my list. Yeah. Everything else was if we have time, we'll do it.
Yeah. So always my thing, and this is where like sometimes I get frustrated because I don't like lists. Tracy's all about lists.
Yeah, but you told me what's your must do.
Well, that's because I want to make you happy. So I said, if there's a must do, it's kind of like you're going hunting. It's like, or going shopping, I should say, is a better example. If there's one thing you want to get, I'm going to make sure you get it. But let's make sure we get that one thing.
Yeah.
And that way I know if nothing else works out, we got that one thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I would say that at the end of the night when I was just kind of like, and then it's like, it was hot and I wanted to go back to the room. I didn't care about the parade was like the last thing on my list.
Yeah, I didn't care about that.
But since we're already in the backlot area, I would say that you should go ahead and if it's already getting to be 10 o'clock for the second one, we just decided, well, let's watch the parade. We saw the Headless Horseman run through with the little light thing.
Yeah, I didn't get a picture of that.
Well, it was fast. I was like, ooh, and I was like, is that the whole parade? Because
he
comes through quick
by himself first, and then the parade.
No, he
starts.
gallops through.
Yeah,
so it's not even like
but
slow.
we were just sitting in the bench.
But my point is it's quick.
Yeah,
and it's so far ahead of the rest of the parade. You think, oh, is that it? Because it's literally, but he'll walk through. Yeah, the first float that comes through is literally 10 minlike later.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be his own show because he's the star.
Yeah,
so that's why he goes by himself first before the parade even starts.
But it's not. But there's like a 10-minute gap.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I was just like, oh, okay, and then the parade starts coming, and then we happened to be on the main avenue, and then this lady left and let you take her spot. See, there's nice people.
No, yeah. Well, you made that, you downplayed that. So, okay, what happened was we were walking. We're like, let's walk back and we can just kind of see the parade in passing while we walk back to the room, right? Mm-hmm. So then you stopped a little bit. Yeah. And I didn't care. I wasn't even watching. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to look at my phone. And didn't watch. I was just standing there. And there's this nice lady who was in front of me. She had like a front row seat to the parade. Mm-hmm. And she saw that. She probably thought I couldn't see, so I just looked somewhere else or on my phone. So she tapped me on the shoulder, and she's like, here, take my spot, because she's leaving. So she was nice. Something magical did happen to me, despite all my complaints. This is something positive that I want to share, even though my tone doesn't sound like it's positive. But
You just have to practice.
Yeah. I'm not used to being all, hello, hello. So.
Though what Flo could teach you.
So she tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, oh, take my spot. And so she left and she let me take her spot. So I got front row. And so that's how I was able to film, Dr. Facilier dancing and working it. And there's a lot more that I haven't filmed, I haven't posted yet. But yeah, I got a front row to the entire parade.
And I honestly will say, I didn't think the parade would be worth it. It's worth it. It was the last thing on my list.
Yeah.
That I would I was like, I
didn't even want to see it.
Yeah.
I was already bothered by the Villains Grove thing. So I'm like, dude, I don't want to see any more heads in my view. So let's just go.
Yeah.
So you're like, wait. So you stopped. And then I was like, ugh. So I was just standing there looking somewhere else and looking at my phone. And then that lady's like, oh, come here, take my spot. And I was like, okay.
And then Disney magic hit you. And Tracy became a real girl. But seriously, the parade's actually good. I like that parade.
It's good if we got lucky.
Well, no.
And a nice lady gave me a spot. It's not good if there's heads in the way.
You're giving the butts and the. But
don't give people expectations.
I'm not giving people expectations. Okay. People know about parades.
Yes.
They know that there's not good spots and good spots.
Yeah.
I'm saying if it's actually worth getting there early and saving a seat.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because I like that parade better than the electrical parade.
We have not watched the electrical parade since it came back. At all.
Yeah. And I like this parade better. It's still not as good as Paint the Night, but for a Halloween parade that they put together strictly for a ticketed event,
yeah,
I thought it was just going to be like, meh, like just leftover, get some dancers. No, I thought they were going to just throw together something to say they had a parade. You know what I mean? Like
really?
just
the past years, people have been raving about this parade.
Yeah, but people rave about everything. So sometimes it's hard to differentiate what's really good and what people who are what I call pot committed, right? They've already paid, so they kind of have to say it's good because if you pay $175,
also, the people who are able to get the preview night where there's no heads in the way.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So I would say that the parade is either time because they do it twice.
Yeah.
Either time is worth actually watching because I like the Jack Skeleton float with him and
Sally
and the
music. They all dance to the music.
The music's good.
The Halloween music. It's like it's their own. I don't know if it's their own song. Like it's about Halloween.
Yeah, it's good. And then Jack kind of has his own little version,
And then the Bride from Haunted Mansion, and then the hit.
The Haunted Mansion float is good. Dr. Facilier knocked it out of the park, and then the big stealth spirits behind him.
Oh yeah.
Those were scary.
In front of him.
Those are scary. Those are like whoa.
And then that dude.
What dude?
The mayor.
Oh yeah,
Night Before Christmas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was good. So, that was an excellent parade, and I was surprised, and that was a good way to end the night because I was just like, I was done, and then I was just like, oh wow, this is actually fun. and I'm not a parade guy.
Yeah,
I think people are dumb who just wait for parades when you could be going on rides. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is actually really cool. So,
I mean, there's people who don't wait and pay for the dessert party and stuff.
Yeah.
And those seats along the Sonoma Terrace?
Yep.
Yeah, so they had that where they could just sit, eat dessert, and watch the parade, front row view.
So I guess all in all, if I have to give it a thumbs, Oogie Boogie Bash a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Do I think that it would be, and I said this to you, it'd be absolutely perfect if they priced it at around $100.
Yeah.
Because it was, for us, it was $175. Now, it was a Saturday. It is cheaper, a little bit cheaper during the week, but not much.
Like $160?
Yeah. Well, like $150 or something. I don't know what it was. But then again, I'm thinking if they priced it at $100, how much more crowded would it be? You know what I mean? So I'm also thinking that too. So maybe it would be less of an experience if they priced it low so maybe they did price it right. I'm not sure. But then again, we didn't do everything. Now, I'm wondering, though, if people who just go to the event and don't do anything else during the day have a better experience. So like, let's say we just showed up at like 2 or 3, checked in, went to the hotel, and then that's the only thing we did. You know what I mean? Kind of what the only thing we did. But we were hot. It was the weather. It was just kind of like, we didn't take a shower after going to Disneyland because they give you a paper wristband. And I didn't want it to dissolve in the shower.
I was planning on showering. They're like, oh, don't get this wet. And I was like, oh, man.
And it's raining.
Yeah.
They're telling us don't get the thing wet. So it's like, I'm just saying, if we just showed up and just that's the only thing we did was Oogie Boogie, I wonder if that would be better or worse. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. So people who only do that, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, now it's time for...
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
Oh, we're not doing all those D23 things? Oh, we're already at an hour? When are we going to announce all the D23 stuff?
We will. We'll do it. We'll just add it to dot points.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we had... so during Oogie Boogie Bash, we got the vanilla vodka orange slush. Mm-hmm. It's actually orange cream slush because it has cream in it and it tasted creamy. This was at the Cozy Cone, and during Oogie Boogie Bash, you can only order either mobile order or order at one cone and pick it up at the other cones.
Yeah.
So because all the other they only have one register open. Anyways, I thought it was good, but I was disappointed in the lack of vodka taste.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of their pre-mixed drinks you can't taste any alcohol,
except for the rum and Coke.
That's pretty strong.
The Jack and
Coke.
Frozen Jack and Coke.
Yeah,
that one was strong, but this was like
that and the horchata.
Like I even made a comment to the lady because I wanted to make sure she knows it was the vanilla vodka one.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, that's nice. You don't have to mix anything." Just to remind her, like, hey, are you supposed to put vodka in it separately? But she's like, oh, yeah, isn't it great? My son works at Starbucks, and he always complains, Mom, you're lucky you don't have to mix drinks. It's pre-mixed or whatever. I was like, okay, I hope that's a hint that she knows that there's vodka in that one, right? Kind of thing. I didn't want to be like, hey, did you put vodka in it? I just was like, oh, that's nice. You don't have to mix anything. But she didn't get it. So I hope I got the right one. I mean, I paid $16 for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't, but see, I just don't think a lot of their pre-made drinks are that strong, except the only two that we had that you could taste it was the, and obviously the ones that are pure alcohol drinks, like the michelada, you can taste it, the stuff at the, Pim's test lab, you can taste. But I don't think that, like a lot of them, the only other one besides the frozen Jack and Coke is my favorite one, which is the buttered rum thing. You could taste it in that. And in Joffrey's cart, you can taste the stuff in there. But they actually don't pre-mix it. That's why. They just pour it directly in. So I still thought it was good tasting. It was refreshing. But yeah, if you're looking for some kind of a kick, probably skip it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now it's time for
All right, so we'll go through all the D23 announcements quickly. I mean, you can say a couple things if you want. Okay, so let's start with parks, Disneyland Park. So they confirmed that the new Avengers Multiverse attraction we talked about, it's based on King Thanos. So based on a multiverse where Thanos won.
Yeah.
So that concept art there really doesn't show much other than it lights up purple in that area.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to go by the comic books because King Thanos in the comic books, everyone is wiped out.
There is no one to see.
Yeah. And the only one that could beat him is that they had a younger Thanos from the past. But it's
multiverse. So did he wipe out everyone in every multiverse?
No, just one universe.
Oh, yeah. So that's why this one's multiverse.
Yeah.
So maybe he wiped everyone out in his universe.
And then they had to, that could be possible. That'd be a good storyline.
And then a new version of World of Color is going to be coming out called World of Color 1. And so they're redoing the show in celebration of the 100 years of Walt Disney Company. Mm-hmm. So it's going to feature, Encanto, Coco, Moana, and more. So they're
Is that limited or is that just going to be permanent?
I think it's permanent. They said that it's a new version. Okay. But that it makes sense because it's going to show all the new movies, Encanto, Coco, and Moana.
Well, it does need an update.
Yeah.
More stuff. I just hope they don't take out the pirates. That's the best part.
The best part.
Yeah.
And then remember that time when they did the one for the holidays and it was just, we didn't even see it, but we heard it was just like Neil Patrick Harris singing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? Okay, we're going to skip that. But anyways, not that he's bad or anything. It's just like, well, where's the genie and the pirates and all that?
Yeah.
Anyways, and then the Magic Happens Parade is coming back to Disneyland. Wondrous Journeys, it's a new fireworks show that's going to kick off in January to celebrate 100 years of Walt Disney Company. So there's a lot of celebration stuff going on next year.
Right.
And then Portos is coming to Downtown Disney.
That's going to be huge.
A lot of people from the East Coast doesn't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like Doa Flip's like, okay, whatever. Where I'm like, oh, it's this famous Cuban bakery. Like they have one across the street from Knott's Berry Farm. So of course they're going to have one inside Downtown Disney, right?
I like the potato balls.
Yeah, they're known for the potato balls, the Danish, the guava Danish. And their cakes are good. They also have good Cuban sandwiches. You kind of get a preview of it now. There's a Cuban food truck there.
Like it's one of those things that you would see, and if it's not already there, in Vegas. It's like one of those things that they would put into one of the Vegas hotels because it's that, regionally unique but popular.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. There's going to be lines, so... prepared for that, but definitely Disney fit.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see. What else? Oh, okay, so then Pacific, this is another big news. Pacific Wharf in DCA will be reimagined to San Francisco.
Supposedly. Yeah. I think that's the plan.
No, it's announced.
They announced it, but it's not like... There's
not
no
official.
Date
oh, yeah. A lot of things they said are not any dates, and we'll get to that later. Maybe next episode.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Quick, and then new meet and greets. Hulk is going to be here next week, and they showed it, and we don't know how it works because he's huge, and he talks, and he moves.
Right. So I don't know if it's going to be...
animatronic?
Like kind of like Zombie Cap where he's behind a rope.
Yeah.
Or if he's going to be walking around. So I doubt he's going to be walking around everywhere because it looks hard to move.
Yeah. He was at D23 with Kevin Feige, and he was huge.
And he's in the his quantum suit.
Yes.
His Avengers white quantum suit. So... And they probably did that way because it's a lot harder to do just green skin everywhere and make it look real.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand why they do that. But, yeah, he's in, like, his, the spacesuit that they wore when they went to the quantum realm. But he's definitely big. So, it's going to be interesting.
Okay. And then there's also Mandalorian and Grogu is coming mid-November. So we already knew they were coming to Galaxy's Edge, but now it's official that it's mid-November.
And they're going to be, as soon as they show up, they're going to be swamped. People are just going to run.
Well, even Hulk, I'm going to be there next week, and I know my sister and I will probably just camp out there and be like, because we're starting at DCA. We usually just camp out at.
But see, I think I'm just guessing, like I said before, Hulk will probably be like in a designated area.
Yeah.
And you just stand in line for that area where Mandalorian is probably going to be walking around.
Oh, yeah.
Like the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And that's going to cause more chaos.
Especially if he has Baby Yoda with him.
Yeah, people are going to just swamp him.
It looks like Baby Yoda's in a sling with him. And then finally, the other big thing is Run Disney is coming back to Anaheim.
Yeah.
So... Maybe I'll have to train for this. Just kidding. I can barely walk around Disneyland and run.
Right. Well, what's up for Walt Disney World?
Walt Disney World. The Tron ride will open spring 2023. We saw Josh D'Amaro ride it, and he loved it. It looks like he had a lot of fun. It's one of those things where you sit on it like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figment meet and greet, end of 2023 at Epcot. Mm-hmm. The Happily Ever After fireworks show is back in 2023. And then some concept, and I'm not no dates for these, but themed lands for Coco, Encanto, and Disney Villains are in early development for the Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. The Harmonious Nighttime Show is coming to Epcot. Harmonious will be replaced with a new nighttime show for the 100-year anniversary. In Epcot. So this is kind of like a water show, kind of like World of Color, but with fireworks.
Right.
And then Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, is coming late 2023 to Epcot.
That's going to be pretty cool.
So these are all, again, just early development stuff with no dates.
Yeah.
So that's what people are kind of upset about. Okay, and then real quickly with shows and movies, we know Andor is coming this
next week.
Willow on Disney Plus November 30th. Mm-hmm. Bad Batch 2 January 4th 23. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi,
that's actually the biggest announcement.
October 26th. Ahsoka 2023 but no date. Skeleton Crew.
That's pretty good.
No date. 2023, coming soon. Mandalorian Season 3. I don't think there's a date yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, 2023. Indiana Jones 5. That's not Star Wars. Now we're on to just random Lucasfilms. Well, still Lucasfilms. Indiana Jones 5 movie is coming out.
And the little trailer looked good. I mean, the little teaser, it didn't tell you much, but...
Oh, that one has a date, June 30th, 2023. And then on to Marvel Studios. We already know Wakanda Forever is in November. Ironheart will come to Disney Plus in 2023. Ant-Man and the Wasp, February 13th. Werewolf by Night special, Halloween special, coming October 7th on Disney Plus. It's a movie.
And that's going to be interesting and definitely worth watching. It looks, and there's a trailer already out, and it appears, at least from the design, that there's security guards in them. Well, first of all, it's done the trailer's in black and white. I don't know if the entire movie is, but it kind of has that 1930s look of the old monster movies. But yeah, it is very, very interesting because this one thing that I saw as far as the designs, it looks like TVA agents are in the actual movie. So we'll see about that.
Forgot to real quick thank Dole Whip Float for the information about Harmonious and all the fireworks stuff at Walt Disney World, because I was confused. I forgot that it's two big parks. I'm like, why do you have two fireworks shows? And she's like, oh, one's at Epcot, one's at Magic Kingdom. So anyways, so then Secret Invasion, the trailer was showed at D23.
That was great.
And that's, I think, sometime later. I know
because that has kind of the trailer anyway. It's like, even though it's dealing with scrolls, it had kind of a Winter Soldier vibe.
Oh yeah,
and that's what makes. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing from Oliver. They wanted like something with a more serious thriller type of stuff. Yeah. And
then Don Cheadle is going to be in Armor Wars, Disney Plus. Wait, so Secret Invasion is a show, right? And so is Armor Wars.
Yes.
Loki Season 2 coming out next year as well.
And they showed some stuff at D23 that was just to the D23 crowds that were in that particular theater. But it looks, from what I hear, it looks pretty decent. And, but I don't think it explains a lot of what's going to happen, with Kang and all that. So we'll see.
Okay, so Fantastic Four film will be in theaters November 8th, 2024.
Yeah, they didn't really say the cast or anything, but at least we know it's coming.
the director is the same director as WandaVision. And Echo, Disney Plus show, is coming out after that. Daredevil, Born Again, we all knew about that. Captain America, New World Order comes in. Oh, that's a movie coming to theaters in 2024.
Yeah.
And then he did announce the Thunderbolts.
Which is weird because they don't have Zemo in the poster.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. Like, where's Zemo? So, and then the weird thing was, so Thunderbolts will be consisting of Val. We knew that. Red Guardian, so that's cool. Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, John Walker. But then Bucky, the Winter Soldier, is part of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, which is weird. Thunderbolts are pretty much anti-heroes / criminals.
Yeah.
So he was already on a redemption arc, so it's kind of weird. But I'm thinking maybe they Cap put him in as a spy.
Out.
Well, I don't.
He had a falling out with Sam because they always fight.
Or because I think he's still on kind of like a probation or terms of not a pardon.
Yeah.
And maybe they got him in that way through some legal thing and forced him into it. Who knows?
And then Yelena. But yeah, no Zemo? What the heck? Zemo, we like Zemo.
And Zemo in the comics, for everyone who doesn't understand why we're making a big deal about it, he is Mr. Thunderbolts. Yeah. He's the leader. He's the mastermind.
Maybe they're saving him for some surprise.
And I think what Disney sometimes does is they don't release some things because people like us, people like me who read comic books since they were like 6, and then got my wife into nerd stuff, and we watch all of the YouTube stuff, and we got a subscription to Marvel Unlimited and all that. Most of these teasers and stuff aren't for us. They're for normal people who they can still, like when Spider-Man came out and all 3 Spider-Men were in it, there were still people who were surprised.
Yeah.
Even though the rest of us already knew that all 3 of them were going to be in it from like a year. Yeah. There were still people there who were surprised. I think that's kind of who they're aiming at. So I suspect Zemo's going to be in it. He's going to be a surprise and everyone's going to clap, except for people like us. It's like, oh, well, yeah, he's supposed to be there,
Yeah. And then the Marvels after that, July 28th, 2023. There's a date for the Marvels already, the movie.
Okay. So we got a full slate of stuff for next year.
Yeah. And the last thing is Avatar, The Way of Water. I don't know.
Which is going to be huge.
Because they already took out the first movie from Disney Plus. Because they're re-releasing it in the theaters in anticipation of this. So.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some huge Avatar fans. I mean, I thought the movie was okay, but it broke all these records. And so obviously, and I think what that does is it crosses over with people who just aren't like MCU, Star Wars, Disney fans, right? It reaches this casual, I call them like the Jurassic Park Transformer audience. Like they really don't have any loyalty to a specific IP.
Yeah.
But they were like, this movie I saw when I was a kid was just amazing. And so they're going to come back for this. So, yeah.
I don't know why I clump it in with Titanic. Is it because it's James Cameron?
Yeah, same director.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. He's got, like 2 of the biggest franchises in history.
Back then, yeah. And some other things, cool things was with the Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the ride, the voices of the original cast will be in the ride. So like Tiana, Prince Naveen, Louis, and Mama Odie, they're all the same actors or voice actors that you'll hear their voice on the rides.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, of course, both parks will have new platinum decorations and character costumes for next year's 100 Years of Wonder Jubilee thing. Celebration. So that is everything.
That's everything? That's a lot.
So next week we'll talk about some thoughts of the D23. I think there were people who were disappointed and all that stuff.
Split. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll go into some more stuff.
Since we're out of time.
Yeah. And, yes, I know Haiti is spelled Haiti, and people were correcting me. Last week. Yeah. They're like, how can you correct your wife when you don't even know how to spell it? So that's
not
cool.
DES?
Hades and, or TTI. Yeah.
I was like, wait, which Hades? The real Hades? Or the fictional Hades?
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll see you, hear from us next week, right before we go to Disney again. And I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.